Hey, this is Vinyl Keith coming at you with another video. What I'm going to do is, this is part 2 of my recent vinyl finds over the last several weeks. There's so many I had to break it up into 2 videos. So, this is part 2. So, we're going to lead off with the man, Ozzy Osbourne. See my Bark at the Moon shirt. Okay, this is called Snowstorm. This is a bootleg of his demos for his debut album, Blizzard of Ozz. That was released in 1980 after he was fired from Black Sabbath in 79. But these are the demos, and these come from the tapes of Bob Daisley, the bass player on that album for Blizzard. They call this the Holy Grail tape. That's what it says on the back of this. A little bit of a write-up, like an interview with Bob Daisley. He had a big hand in helping write Blizzard of Ozz with Ozzy, helping write all the songs. And what somebody did was they turned up the guitar on this, because the guitar is like, prominent up front, and you can hear the bass a little bit, and the drums and Ozzy's vocals are turned way down. So mostly what you have is Randy just shredding on the guitar with some bass to beef it up. That's what this is. But it's all his songs off Blizzard, kind of like a work in progress. I guess. But yeah, that's what this is, and it sounds pretty good. And it's on colored vinyl. It's on this purple swirl. You can see other colors in there, like a darker purple. There's even shades of like a blue in there. Red. Maybe a dark green. I don't know. It's hard to tell. But yeah, that's what. Pretty cool. Blizzard of Ozz has always been my favorite album of his. So it was cool to get these demos of all the songs. So that was a cool find for me. And we have another Ozzy demo. This is a live show recorded at the Met Center in Bloomington, Minnesota on January 15th, 1982. This is Broken Chains and Broken Rules. An Ozzy live show. There's a track list if you want to look. And this sounds really good, surprisingly. I was a little surprised with this. Over the Mountain, Mr. Crowley, Crazy Train, Revelation Mother Earth, Steal Away the Night, Suicide Solution, then a guitar and drum solo. Goodbye to Romance, I Don't Know, Believer, Flying High Again, and then 3 Black Sabbath covers, Iron Man, Children of the Grave, and Paranoid. And he would close his show with those 3 songs back then, every show. Yeah, I've seen track lists and set lists before. Always did that. But yeah, Randy Rhoads on guitar, Rudy Sarzo on bass, not Bob Daisley. Don Airey on keyboards, and Tommy Aldridge on drums. So, that's what this is. It's a double album. And it is on kind of like a translucent gold. Kind of looks like piss yellow. Cool label. This is a really good show. I was hesitant in buying this, but I've had good luck with bootlegs lately, so I thought, yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'm glad I did. It's a really cool show. Yep. Next, we have a recent release that everybody's been waiting for years. It's Audio Slave Out of Exile. Okay. This was released originally May 23rd of 2005 and it went #1 on the Billboard 200 chart here in the United States. Sold 1 million copies. Had 3 singles that two of them reached the top 10, and the other one was number 12 on the mainstream rock charts. Doesn't Remind Me hit number 2. Your Time Has Come is number 12, and then Be Yourself it hit number 1 on the mainstream rock chart, and it stayed number 1 for 7 weeks. Great album. As you know, Audioslave was kind of a band that got together after the breakup of Soundgarden and Audioslave in the late 90s, early 2000s. And I guess the 3 guys from Rage Against the Machine, when they lost their singer, Zach De La Rosa, I guess he quit the band. Somehow they got together with Chris Cornell from Soundgarden. And man, they were a good band. This band rocked. I actually like them better than Soundgarden. That's just my opinion. Not everybody agrees with me on that, but yeah, Audioslave. This was just recently released a few weeks ago, this reissue. It hadn't been released on vinyl since the original. It's just on black vinyl. 2 LP set. I'll just show you one. But yeah, fantastic album. This was a big deal when it came out. Audioslave, Out of Exile. Alright. Now, I hope I don't lose people on this, because this video's got some variety, okay? I don't listen to just hard rock, heavy metal. I listen to other genres of music too. And I've got a couple of releases I picked up that I've been needing for my collection. So, we've got the new album from Willie Nelson, Dream Chaser. I love Willie. My dad was a big fan. My parents were. And I kind of grew up listening to him in the car when I was in the back seat as a kid. And Dad was playing the 8-track in the Monte Carlo. And yeah, Willie Nelson. This is a cool album. Yeah, I don't think it's colored. But this was released on May 29th this year. And it hit number 5 on the country album chart. I've always liked Willie. I just like hearing him strum the guitar and sing, telling stories. There's something about his voice is very soothing to me. So, yeah. I haven't bought an album from him in 2 years. His last album I have is The Border from 2024. But in the 2 years in between, he released 3 albums between these two. I'd never even got. The man has released 79 albums in his career. 79 studio albums. That's a lot of music. I probably got 33 or 4 of his, I'm guessing. Willie Nelson, Dream Chaser. Fantastic record if you like this kind of music. I highly recommend it. Alright, next. Here's one I've been looking for a long time. I'm a big Hank 3 fan. Hank Williams III. He just goes by Hank 3. He's the grandson of Hank Williams, who, you know, the big country star from the 1940s and 50s. He's his grandson, and he's the son of Hank Williams Jr. This album is called Ghost to Ghost, Gutter Town. Gutter Town on the back. It's a 3-album set. It's actually 2, he recorded 2 albums and just put them together in one set, is what he did. Ghost to Ghost and Gutter Town. I'll show you one, because they're just black vinyl. kind of a black translucent. I can kind of see through it. It's got a green hint to it, at least on video here. I can see a little bit of like olive green in it. I thought it was black, but I guess it's not. When you hold it up to the light, you can see that green in the black. This is really cool. This opens up like this. Like I said, it's a 3-album set. Shows a bunch of mason jars full of shit. Hank incorporates kind of like a punk attitude along with his country music. Yeah, he's kind of crazy. But he is fantastic. I've always liked him for years and years. He puts out great music. Hank Williams III, or Hank 3 as people like to call him. Great album here. Now, here's where I might lose people. If you're around my age, you grew up watching Happy Days, right? I've always liked 50s rock music. Like, I like the early Elvis stuff. I like Little Richard. I like Jerry Lee Lewis. You know, the early Johnny Cash was kind of rockabilly. Carl Perkins. I like all that stuff. Chuck Berry. Well, here's a guy. Bill Haley and the Comets. This is their third album. This is the one that went, you know, kind of blew up. Rock Around the Clock. Everybody knows that song. I call this stuff 50s music. Or Happy Days music. So, yeah. Rock Around the Clock. It also has See You Later Alligator on it. Shake, Rattle, and Roll. Dim, Dim the Lights. These are all big songs from back then. This album was released. I forgot to turn the page on my notes. This album was released December 9th, 1955, and it hit number 12 on the Billboard Pop Album charts. Rock Around the Clock. And the song actually went number 1. Of course, everybody knows that song. Kind of became the theme song for Happy Days, the sitcom. Show you the album. And this sounds really good. They did a good job on this reissue. But yeah, everybody needs some 50 music in their life. That's what I think. Bill Haley and his Comets, as they call it. Rock Around the Clock. Good vibes on this album. Next, we go all the way to Finland. The band Hanoi Rocks. They were not big, but they were like a band that formed in 1979 in Finland. And they were part of the hair metal scene. Unfortunately, they didn't make it like really big. They had a video or two maybe on MTV. But their biggest claim to fame, unfortunately, is their drummer. Okay? Their drummer's name was Razzle. He was in a car accident with Vince Neil from Motley Crue behind the wheel. Okay? And they were drunk, driving, and Vince crashed the car. And Razzle ended up dying in the car wreck. I remember this on the news back then. Because Vince Neil, he thought he was going to jail for a long time for vehicular homicide. And I think this is Razzle right there. Rest in peace. Yeah, that happened on December 8th, 1984. Razzle was only 24 years old, too. Isn't that a shame? Hanoi Rocks. This is just good hair metal, like hard rock hair metal is what this is. Not everybody knows about them, but they were a pretty good band. This album's pretty good. I like it. Hanoi Rocks. It's called Two Steps from the Move. And this was, of course, their last album they did during that time. Once Razzle died, I think the band broke up. The singer went solo for a while, Michael Monroe. I don't think he did anything. But this album's pretty good. Produced by Bob Ezrin. There you go. Didn't chart or anything. Not that I know of. Well, no, I'm wrong. It charted number 28 on the UK album chart and number 32 in the Finnish album chart. Okay, next we have the punk rock reggae band Bad Brains. This is their second album, Rock for Life. Rock for Life. These guys were very influential in the punk rock scene. Kind of mixed hardcore punk with reggae and a little bit of heavy metal mixed in. So yeah, very, very unique band. There's the label. If you like old style punk music that's got a hardcore flavor and reggae, obviously, you'll like this. It's you wouldn't think those styles would mix together very well, but you'd be surprised. Really good band. Really good album. Did it chart? It was released April 15th, 1983. That's all I found on it, so I don't think it charted or anything. Great band from Washington, D.C. Next, we have Whitesnake. Come and Get It. This is their 1981 album. Whitesnake was formed out of the demise of Deep Purple. Purple hung it up for a while in 1976. Richie Blackmore decided to, leave the band. He formed his own band, Rainbow. Ian Gillan, the lead singer of Deep Purple, he went solo, had his band Gillan for a few years. But when David Coverdale left, when Deep Purple broke up, David Coverdale, the other lead singer for Deep Purple, he decided to form Whitesnake in 1978. And this is their fourth album. And he took with him John Lord from Deep Purple, keyboard player, and Ian Pace, the drummer from Deep Purple. So, kind of an all-star lineup, along with Mick Moody on guitars, Neil Murray on bass, who's played with dozens of bands, and Bernie Marsden on guitar, or Bernie Marsden, I'm sorry. Bernie Marsden on guitar. Come and Get It from Whitesnake. This is a good album. I like the early Whitesnake stuff. Before they got really big and popular with that 1987 album, Here I Go Again and all that. That's okay. But this early Whitesnake stuff, really bluesy, hard rock. Fantastic stuff. I highly recommend their early stuff. Whitesnake from the late 70s and early 80s. Great. All the way up to Slide It In. Their albums are fantastic. That's just my opinion. Don't get the panties in a bunch. Not everybody agrees with everything. There you go. Whitesnake, Come and Get It. And it's in pretty good shape, really. Check out the album here. Yeah. Released on Geffen Records. Boy, I tell you, there's a big difference in albums that were made back in the 70s and 80s compared to now. And now the albums are a lot thicker. I don't know if that's really better or not. But I kind of like the flimsiness of the old records. They sound just as good. That's just my opinion. Again, you don't have to agree. But I don't think that 180 gram does that big of a difference. That's the marketing thing they try to get everybody to talk about. But yeah, what a great album. Whitesnake, come and get it. And the last one to show you is my biggest find of the last few weeks. I was very excited when I came across this album. I'm a big Who fan, and I found their debut album. Look how nice a shape this is. And it wasn't that expensive. I know you might be thinking, wow, he paid an arm and a leg for this. Not really. I can tell you it was around $30. And I think, for the shape it's in, that's a hell of a price. On Decca Records, I love that label. And of course, this is, has My Generation on it, probably their biggest song, or one of them. Make sure I get this back in the thing right. This is a cool album. It's got My Generation on it. Out in the Street. The Kids Are Alright. Please, 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 which is an old James Brown song. The Ox. A Legal Matter. Yeah, this is really good stuff. The Who. This was released April 25th, 1966 in the United States. Now, this album was released in December of 1965 in the UK. I don't know why they did stuff like that back then. And the UK version has a different cover than this. Totally different picture of the band, different area, whatever. Yeah, this is a great album, too. Can't go wrong with The Who. This thing's in nice shape, too. This was a heck of a find. And there you have it. That's my recent finds for the last few weeks. I hope everybody's having a good week. And I will see you next time.